Hello, World of Jake 2012 here, and today I'm going to show you my Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance collection. Now, this video is inspired by JoTheGamerGuy, which I'll give the link to the account at the top right corner, right there. Anyway. Let's begin with the Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Now, this is my Game Boy Color. Yeah, it's a Pokemon 1. Yeah. Yeah, it takes 2 AA batteries. Okay, I'll show you my games I got. I'll show you the games I have. We have Super Mario Land. This is an awesome title. One of the best Mario games of all time. Well, not as good as Mario 64 or Super Mario Bros. 3, but still awesome. Now, this, apart from it being awesome, it's also very difficult. Yeah. It's also difficult because, for starters, it isn't made by Shigeru Miyamoto, which is the reason why Super Mario 1 isn't like all the other Mario games, like Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3, and as well as Super Mario World. It's for the Super NES. This game is just a great title that any Game Boy gamer must own. Sad I don't have Super Mario Bros. Deluxe for the Game Boy Color. Color Game Boy 22-in-1. Now, this game. Oh, stupid shadow. This game is pretty much like all the other pirated multi-carts. It's 22 games in one, but with a difference. It doesn't have repeats. It has a cool Mario hack. It has a cool Adventure Island hack. And what's weird is that Super Mario Land is in that multi-cart. So, it's a good multi-cart. I got this from my cousins just last month. It's a good one. Start with the game. Now we'll start with the Game Boy Color games. Pokemon Silver. Now, I don't usually play this that often. Usually my brother would play this, because I prefer more gold than silver. Yeah, so yeah, nothing to say about this one. Okay. Monsters, Inc. Now, this is a great title. It's a very underrated one, too. I mean, it has some nice puzzle elements. And it's also quite challenging, too. Pretty cool. Croc. I love the PlayStation 1 version. I played on the emulator, PlayStation 1 version. And the Game Boy Color version was a decent title, but I prefer the PlayStation 1 version over the Game Boy Color version. Jimmy White's Cue Ball. Now, I don't usually play this. I don't usually go into this to play the game. I usually use this to listen to the music. Like, I had that song stuck in my head. Oops, sorry. Pokemon Crystal. Now, as you can see, it's in a crystal-y kind of cart. I think the batteries died on this cart. Yeah. Sometimes I go back into it. Same with gold. But I don't have Pokemon Gold, sadly. But I do have Heart Gold for the DS. Tomb Raider, Curse of the Sword. Now, when I think of this game, the controls are horrible. Yeah. You go so slow, and sometimes you have to wait until she responds in order to, yeah, pretty much. And select is to go in gun mode. Yeah. 2 more. The world is not enough. Now, I don't really like this game. I prefer GoldenEye 007 for the Nintendo 64 over that. And finally, The Land Before Time. Now, this is an okay title. I used to watch the show. What's weird is that you play as Sarah in the first and second levels. And what's also weird is that you have to get everything in the levels to advance to the next level. Yeah. Pretty weird. And here's my Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Now we'll shove that aside. And I'll show you my Game Boy Advance games. And here's my Game Boy Advance SP. Yep. I'll show you the games for it. I have. The box games I have are Shinchan Shotgun. I played the Japanese version. The Japanese version has voice clips. The Spanish version does not. I like the Spanish version. It's just that it doesn't have any voice clips compared to the Japanese one. Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Nice puzzler. Nice puzzle game. So I prefer the sequel better. This is still a great title that any Game Boy Advance owner must own. Winnie the Pooh's Rumbly Tumbly Adventure in Rayman 3. On this, I play Rayman 3. Cause I prefer this game to the Winnie the Pooh game. Cause the Winnie the Pooh game sucked. In my opinion. Now, I played Rayman 3 on the Game Boy Advance and the PS2, and that was an awesome title! It was freaking awesome! Okay, next game. Mario Party Advance, obviously for the Game Boy Advance. Now, this title just amazed me. Yeah, nice. Has some of the best mini games, and has one of the best stories in history. Yep. Awesome game. Underrated too. Sorry, I can't. Next game. Another one of the double games. Monsters Inc. and Finding Nemo. Yeah, I know. The sticker's covering Finding Nemo. And I know I already got Monsters Inc. there, but I got this before I got the Game Boy Color version. I think I got this like about 2003 or 4. I think. Anyway. There's a good title. Monsters Inc. And Finding Nemo's an okay. I'll give it that. The last boxed game, Lilo and Stitch 2. Yeah. This is a good title. They use the same instruments for every other kind of every music in the game. I know, it's weird. Anyway, and now for my loose games. We have Super Mario Advance 2, Super Mario World. Now, I like this game, but I prefer like the Super Nintendo version over the Game Boy Advance version. Cause, well, Super Mario Advance 2 had more levels and stuff and crap. But it's a good title, but I prefer the Super Nintendo version. Crash and Spyro Super Pack Volume 2, which contains Spyro 2 Season of Flame and Crash Nitro Kart. Yeah. Yep. This game is good. Spyro 2 Season of Flame, I usually play that more. Crash Nitro Kart was an okay title. Franklin the Turtle is just a collection of mini games and stuff. Pretty much. Yoshi's Universal Gravitation, or Yoshi's Topsy Turvy if you live in the US. This is an amazing title. It's friggin' awesome. Yeah, the tilt is awesome in this game. I've never played WarioWare Twisted, more than likely because I don't live in the US. And this is an awesome title. Until I play WarioWare Twisted, this is an awesome title again. The Incredibles Rise of the Underminer. I don't know. I don't know about that game. Super Mario Advance 3, Yoshi's Island. Good title, I love it. I never played that Super Nintendo version. I've seen gameplay of the Super Nintendo version. The Japanese ad of Super Mario Advance 3 was pretty good. And the US ad was funny. The US ad for Yoshi's Island GBA was a funny one. I think this is a great title anyone must own. Two more. Metroid Fusion. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Metroid. My brother is more of a fan of Metroid than I am. I'm more into like Mario, Sonic, Bubsy, Rayman, that sort of crap. But, I don't know. And I had to say the best for last. Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario Advance 4. Why is this an awesome title? It just is! This is the best Mario game of all time. And I'm glad this is the first Mario game I ever had. Because if it wasn't, and it was probably Super Mario 64, I would be happy too. But I don't own a Nintendo 64. Sad. But this is an awesome frickin' title. You must own it. It's your number one best game on the Game Boy Advance. And this is my complete Game Boy Color, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance games. Yep, and again, I inspired JoTheGamerGuy. I gave credit to JoTheGamerGuy and then inspired him for his Game Boy collection. And I give the link to his video there on this video, on the description, and his channel. So that is it. That's it for today. And that is for today, and I'll see you later. Bye.